because now you even got the debate being two old white men like the country has always been. So now we know there's going to be an old white man as a president. After Barack, it probably should have been a woman. And then after the woman, it probably should have been like a gay dude. And then they go into that whole community, because then it's kind of looking like, you know, the politic game is keeping up with the times as society is, as it pertains to society. But when I'm watching this motherfucker Joe Biden talk, I'm like, dog, I could debate this motherfucker. Like I could say I'm a good talker.
Yeah.
I could say some shit that makes no sense and make it sound like it does. This motherfucker is saying shit that might make sense, but god damn, bro, that shit was like, and I was like, yo, this is the motherfucker who's supposed to run this shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Pranzata Podcast. This is your host, Andrea Pranzatelli. This is episode number 125 on the Pranzata Podcast. This is the fifth return of Ricky Ramesses. He is a stand-up comedian from the New Jersey, New York City area. Yeah. I can't believe this is his fifth time on the podcast. I don't think there's been another guest on this podcast that have done that. I think there's been 3s and 4s, but never a 5.
So does that make it the fifth? Oh, look, and my jersey is 3 and 2. Does that make it the 5th return or the 4th return?
The 4th return, but the 5th appearance, I should say, not the 5th. Yeah, good point.
Now wait, hold up, because the first 2 were in that first apartment you had. The third one, I'm trying to think, because I can go off the outfits.
I was actually thinking about this, like before you came here. Every time you come to this podcast, you've seen me in a new season of life. Because like every time I've moved somewhere, it's been like a new chapter of my life. So you've kind of witnessed, because I only see you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, the third one was in that motherfucking band orgy house you had.
That was so that was the phase of my life where I was like in a happy relationship. Then the next house is when I was like going through a traumatic breakup, and now this is the house of like rebirth and renewal.
Yeah. So it is my 5th. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
5 times, baby. The 3 and the 2.
Before we get into the topics, like I said, he is a stand-up comedian. He's a beloved guest on this podcast. This is his 5th appearance. And if you like what you hear today, please don't forget to hit subscribe. It is my mission to grow this channel this year.
Hit subscribe before you like what you hear.
And your support.
Look at us.
Look at us. You have a glare on your glasses, though. That's the problem.
I don't give a. Does it matter?
That's fine.
Huh?
Okay, so we were just having a conversation off air, and I was like, let's hit record because this is an interesting conversation. So I was explaining to him that a guy at the gym who I thought was attractive approached me, and I thought he was cute, so I tried to approach him back, and his reaction was to like freak out and be like, oh my God, ma'am, I didn't mean to offend you, and he walked away. And we were having a discussion. Are you okay?
How come you took the armrest off this?
Oh, because I'm a piano player. I used that chair for like playing piano, and I didn't. Man. But anyways, cool. Back to what we were saying.
Can we switch chairs on camera? No, I'm just fucking around.
What was your analysis of that? Why, if a guy complimented me, he complimented my tattoo, and I wanted to say something back, why did he freak out and apologize? He was like, I'm so sorry. Like when I was going back to him to approach him.
Because you didn't respond
right
away. If you responded immediately with a cute little smile and thank you, or not even a smile, just that shit that bitches do when they're thank you, it would have, even if you would have walked up on him afterwards, it would have let down his guard, because it's like, all right, at least she gave me a neutral response.
Yeah.
But you didn't respond at all. So realistically, what happens is in that setting, right, like the gym, people don't like to talk when they're working out. And, you know, we're in this really sensitive state in society where, like, a dude gives you a compliment and he automatically, you know, wants to rape you or some goofy shit. So, guys, we're automatically on edge. We don't really, as much as we want to compliment bitches, we don't do it as much because...
But he's the one who complimented me.
That's what I'm saying.
So why didn't he have the confidence to then take whatever was going to come next, which I was going to be a compliment back?
Because of your response. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if he had the confidence. He might have mustered up everything he had to just throw that out there and see what you were going to do. He probably, if he freaked out like that, he might have been hoping that you didn't
approach him.
Cause see, guys, I don't know how old he was and shit like that, right? But if he was now, is he actually attractive or is he like?
I thought he was attractive.
Woman attractive. Because
what does that mean?
Y'all be attracted to. I don't want to say it. Oh fuck, I don't want to say it. All right.
What? Wait, what?
Because like y'all, like, I feel like your taste, right, is like, you know, maybe like
mine specifically or
weird
all women?
Looking.
Mine?
Yeah. And that's no.
You're basing that off of one boyfriend. You've never seen my boyfriend.
But I'm also basing it off of some material I heard you say and shit. So it's like you had the whole. I mean, I don't want to say it because maybe.
Yeah.
But all right, cool. Maybe I'm just jumping the gun. But
yeah,
the reason why I asked is like because he might be in a stage of his life where he's just trying to throw shit at the wall with every attractive woman he sees just to build up the confidence.
No, he was not first of all, I do not have an attraction to weird looking guys.
Don't get offended.
No, but I have to stand up for myself. Well, first of all, I don't even know if I should be having this conversation because I don't want to offend anybody who's going to listen to it. But
well, you're about to defend him, so who the fuck would get offended?
I was going to say my track record has been pretty good of guys I've dated. I happen to be attracted to slender guys, which may not be attractive to you. Like in the eyes of a man, you might not think that a slender guy is stereo.
Bro, I'm not no fat motherfucker. I'm saying like, all right.
But like thinner than you, like I like skinny guys.
You like frail. Not frail, but like
not frail, just thin. I like thin guys.
Like a dude that's like what? But name a weight. If this guy
I like tall guys.
So you talking about 6'2"
is good.
So around my height.
6'2". Are you 6'2"?
6 something.
Yeah.
I believe I'm 6'2" in that area.
I don't like 6'5". That's too much. 6'2".
But I'm saying like around my height, what is the ideal weight? I'm 200.
How tall are you exactly?
6'2".
6'2". You're 200?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say anything different because then it's going to insult you.
No, it ain't. I ain't trying to.
Okay, I would say between 170 to 180 would be my preference.
Why would that be insulting? That's only 20 goddamn pounds off.
But it's also a body type. There's actually a name for the body type. It's called an ectomorph. Have you ever heard of that before?
Yeah, they come up with no.
That's like the scientific name for someone with a naturally slender physique. It's called an ectomorph, and that's. I just like.
And this dude had that?
If you look at my track record, all the guys I've dated, like not forever. I used to date chubby guys when I was younger because I was like chubbier when I was younger. But when I got older and I like started working out and stuff, like everybody I've dated was that body shape, was like ectomorph.
And this dude in the
he was
gym
ectomorph. 100%. Yes, 100%. I thought he was cute. Yeah.
Cause see, it took me that shit. He scared she or somebody scared the hell out of him. I literally just started putting on like muscle mass and weight and shit. I want to say around my mid-20s.
Yeah.
So I was that, you know what I'm saying? But like you're saying, if that's what you're attracted to, like how about if this shit would have went somewhere with dude and then he starts to bulk up a little bit?
So I'm not against that either. I just don't like. I don't like buff guys. Like that's guys fair. That are like, okay, I'm a huge Joe Rogan fan. I'm not necessarily attracted to his body type. Like Joe Rogan's jacked. Like he's really jacked.
Is he for real?
Oh yeah. You don't know he's jacked. I mean, I
know he's a fighter and shit, an athlete.
Oh my God.
You've
never seen, I'm like, he does the whole sauna, like hot, what is it called? Ice bath. I'm sorry, not sauna. He does the ice bath thing. So you see like pictures of him online or like videos of him like jumping in his ice bath, like on his stories and stuff, and he's like ripped. He's very in shape.
Now being ripped doesn't necessarily mean you're buff. That's what I'm saying. So do you want a skinny guy who's still cut up? Like
either or.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
But just that, I don't even know how to explain it. Just long and thin. But they could be that sounds bad. But no, they could be just naturally thin, or they can have a little muscle. But I just don't like it when it's like that thick muscle.
Yeah, I feel
it's not my thing.
All right.
But anyways, that's my type.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of like what I was telling you about with your shit before we got on, like where you're like right in the middle.
yeah.
So that's, you probably attracted to the same shit. Like, I doubt you want a dude that's shaped like you. You know what I mean?
Oh, and don't get me wrong. When I say like thin guys, I don't like skinny guys. I don't like that either. Like, I don't like.
Well, nah, you said 6'2",
170,
180.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily. That's not skinny.
No.
But it's not. It ain't big. Like, see, that's the thing when it comes to like height and weight and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, the reason why I'm okay with being, because when I stepped on the scale and it said 200, now. I'm not
you stepped
like
on my scale.
No. At the gym, like, I'm not like, my body is not sloppy, so I'm okay with being 200.
Yeah.
But also, it's like Muhammad Ali was like 218.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
So like, all right, cool. Like if he was and they said he was around like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
So it's like if my body, like if I get there, but that's the pinnacle of big that I want to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to hit the 220s, 230s, because then I think that you start to gain weight more than you can keep up with. Yeah. And I like to keep up with my shit. Like I like the fact that like I can go, because realistically, I trained my body to, like, it's summertime now.
Yeah.
So I'm on it. Because, you never know when you're going to go to the beach. You never know when whatever you're going to want to go outside in a tank top and shit.
Yeah.
But once the cold weather hits and all that shit, I'm still on the workout shit, but I like to bulk up, and that's how I actually gained weight.
I know that I've done that by accident because I've been like through depressed. I go through these like depressed periods where I don't
mean
like
to laugh at it, but that's
but like I bulk and cut by accident just by going through depressions, because like I'm always lifting weights. Even when I'm depressed, I still go out and lift weights. But like if I'm going through a depression, I'll eat a lot more than normal, and then I'll go through these like spurts where I'm like, I'm gonna grind and eat healthy. So I like accidentally, I think that's how I put on so much muscle. People are like, how did you like put on so much muscle? I'm like, I think I just like, my depression like made me bulk and cut by accident.
But that's the dichotomy of life. I think that's really like, that's where a positive just comes out of a negative, because nobody wants to be depressed. But then also, if your depression helps you to become a better you, whether that should be physically, I mean, of course, if you make it through the depression, then it helps you mentally and emotionally, I guess. And, if it helps you to do that, then it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? The depression state sucked, but, the bitch got this body now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool. I mean, I went at it with a totally different mind. Like I went at it like, yo, I cannot gain weight. Like I don't know if it was, I mean, I guess it was the fast metabolism.
When you were younger or recently?
I'm talking about like I said, I didn't start gaining weight really until my mid-20s. So that's when once I seen that I can like get like muscle mass and shit like that. That's when I'm like, all right, cool. Let me see if I could just gain weight. Cause I know I have the discipline to tone it. Yeah. I'm like, let me see if I could just gain weight. And I started doing that, I think maybe around the time where my baby mom was pregnant with my first daughter. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, you know what? It's wintertime, man. Let me just see if I could just put on some weight. And I did. I put on like, I think like maybe it wasn't nothing crazy.
Yeah,
but it was
was it like fat weight or was it?
No, because I always work out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this was before COVID. So like the gyms were open and shit like that. But I just like now I'll go to the gym and do cardio every day. Yeah. I'll do, and as well as like the lifting and shit like that. Like I'll do certain exercises to keep my, I don't want to say figure because that shit sounds feminine to me.
What about
but
physique?
to keep the shit sharp, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But then I'll still lift, but I'll do cardio maybe once a week in the wintertime.
Does your body change quickly? Like, so for example, let's say you don't lift for a week.
I know where you're going. Yep.
I have that too.
Yep.
I don't know if it's my age or something, but I find that like if I let loose for just 2 days, I'll legit like start looking fat. I mean, like we talked last time, you're like, enough of that white girl talk. But like for real, like based on what I normally look like, I'll start to look fat if I let loose for like 2 or 3 days. But on the contrary, if I get back into it, I get ripped like really fast. It's really weird.
I don't know if I ever asked you this. What? Were you an athlete growing up?
No.
No?
Never.
All right. Okay. But then maybe you don't have to be an athlete to have a naturally just athletic type of body. Like I was, boys always running around playing and all types of shit like that. But that's how my body is, but it's kind of like the opposite. Or maybe it could be my own self, what is that shit called? Maybe I have a bit of like body dysmorphia where like if I don't go to the gym, I don't want to say 2 days. Like if I don't lift for like 2 weeks, I'll look in the mirror and feel like I'm losing my muscle. Like I'll look in the mirror and feel like, oh shit, I'm getting skinny. And so, but then once I start back up, it is that fast, like maybe one good workout, I'm back to...
You're also a stand-up comedian, which means you're perceptive. And I think and I'm also a perceptive person, like I'm a podcaster. And I think because we're both like perceptive, sensitive type of people, we might just be more in tune with our bodies. Like maybe the same phenomena happens to other people. They just don't pay attention.
Yeah, probably.
That could be it too.
I think that's why people get in like relationships and like just let go, which I'm not a fan of. But like... I think that's what happens because a lot of times I don't do it personally because it's just, I understand that there's a whole mentality that goes into it and I don't subscribe to it. But a lot of times people get into a relationship and they become more in tune with the other person or the relationship as a whole, as opposed to staying well grounded in themselves. So you'll see people like, case in point, right? You and dude at the gym, let's just say that shit blossomed into something beautiful. Yeah. A year or two later, motherfuckers can see y'all together and be like, these motherfuckers met at the gym? Because they, like, sometimes people get way too comfortable and
so, like,
it's just, it could be that, or it could be if I'm with you, I could be so into you that I forget to be into myself. And now I'm not keeping up with myself, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not keeping up with... Or we can
become that like annoying gym couple and we double down and like work out and slay at the gym.
But see, that's the shit that I be like, I wish...
You had a girlfriend like that?
And well, I mean, I wish I had a gym girlfriend and then I wish I had a comedy girlfriend and I wish I had a fucking...
You had like a girlfriend...
Like every aspect of my life, I wish I just had a bitch.
Because you can't have one for everything.
And you know, I met women that tried to be, but it's just, you know... People can't, and I admire the fact that it's like, you know, the bitches that tried to be like that everything thing for me, they couldn't fake it. And I admire that because I'd rather you not be fake. But in a perfect world, I would have like and not a gym girlfriend like we fucking, but it's just a female gym partner to keep me motivated like at the gym. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know, I don't like the things that motivate me really are women. Like
I think that's all men.
The women that but see, it's not coming from a standpoint of like the women that I've been like when I run down my track record of women that I've really been serious about and things like that, like ain't none of them bitches losers. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not struggling. They're not like, they're all like financially well off. You know what I'm saying? One of them is on the way to be like a doctor and another one ran like a doctor's office. And then, you know, this motherfucker going for the bar and all types of like, so that type of shit keeps me motivated to keep going and bettering myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like if I just had a woman in every sector where it's like you know,
this is the woman that helps me like bench
this is the
press.
This is the one where it's like, this is the woman that's like, yo, when you see me, if you see me pull up to a comedy show with a woman, this is the comedy show woman. Now, whether we fucking or not, that's, you know, that's on us. But this is the one that like when I'm at a comedy show, if I go up, she'll be the one to tell me we could have a real conversation about the show after, as opposed to a motherfucker just saying, you were the funniest one. 9 out of 10, the bitch is right. And I'm just saying. But like, I like sometimes I be wanting to hear like more than that. Like I be like, cause I'm really a fan of comedy as a genre. Yeah. So when I'm on a comedy show or I go to comedy shows, I'm really like, especially when I'm not a part of it. Yeah. Now I'm sitting back and it's like I'm watching a comedy show on like YouTube or something like that. Is, you know what I'm saying? but I be really into the shit, you know. So it's I be wanting to have that where it's like me and her could have real conversations, you know. If there's, you know, the gym, you know what I'm saying, like that, like we could really enjoy the gym together, you know. Certain, you know, a movie, I like going to the movies, you know what I'm saying, and I'll go to the movies and see anything. I done went to the movies to see musicals.
See the Barbie movie?
Huh?
You saw the Barbie movie?
No, and only because when it was out, I was just too busy to and I think now they do movies different. Like I think movies be in the movie theater for only like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Growing up,
I know what you're talking
growing
about.
up, I had like maybe like like when I first turned 18 and I got my license, and because I would go to the movies by myself. Yeah. I'm cool. You know, when I first got my license and I was going to the movies, you had like a month and a half, damn near 2 months to go see a new movie. Yeah. Now with all the streaming and then COVID kind of made shit weird and shit like that, I feel like it's getting kind of back to how it was before COVID. But for the most part, man, movies stay in the theaters for like, you'd be lucky if a movie come out today, you'll be lucky a month from now and be like, yo, I got time to go to the movies. Let me see what's in there. Like, yo, that movie's still there? Oh shit, I'm gonna go see.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Dude, I used to, that was my first job. When I was 16, I worked at a movie theater as like the popcorn concession lady. And then by the time I was 18, I was managing it. So I was like a theater manager. And back then, it was like the nightclub. Like you would go to the movies, like like I specifically
fucking teenage years. How we the same age, right? Like around the same age.
I'm 36 now.
Okay, yeah. So I'm 33. So you know, but I'll be 34 in September. But like when we were teenagers and shit, the movies was a thing.
It was like packed. It was crazy. And I
Fridays and
remember
Saturdays,
like working certain shifts that were like, it's Harry Potter night, and like some big Harry Potter movie would come out, and we would like have everything stocked up and ready, and would be like, okay, open the doors. It'd be called midnight showings. Like, all right, open the doors, and it would just be like a swarm of like
like
hundreds,
a fucking concert.
like like a rock concert. And
them is just days I miss, man. Growing up, bro, them teenage years, the movies, the mall.
The mall was fun.
Like even I mean, depending on what mall you were around, like I had Eatontown Mall, which is well, I think it's Monmouth Mall, whatever it's called. But that shit is fuck. They tearing that shit down.
Well, because why are malls even in business
for
anymore?
Niggas like me?
Everyone just gets everything online though.
Nah, but that's what I'm saying, man. Like that's the part of all this shit that I be scared of, man, because it's like, yo.
I was gonna ask you, I know this is an overplayed conversation, but I'm actually genuinely curious your take on this. Are you scared of the future of AI and stuff?
Of AI? No, not really.
Like the direction things. I mean, like I'm thinking of, or even just not even just AI, but the direction things are moving with like Amazon, and like everything's online. So like online and artificial intelligence, like all that. Are you scared?
Scared, not necessarily, unless we talking about like, you know, fucking iRobot and shit. I don't want no shit like that. But as far as like scared, I'm not scared. I'm like weary of it. Like I don't want technology to take over. Like
they want to take human consciousness and put it in like robots.
But see, that's the reason why I'm not scared of it, because realistically you cannot do that. It's just not possible to take human consciousness, because humans, no matter what, our instinct is nature. Now, what reaction we have after that and the way we move after that initial feeling, that's on us. But our initial instinct, gut, whatever, is nature, and you cannot program that into something that's not.
What do you think consciousness is? Like, what's your definition of consciousness?
Consciousness is, to me, it's being intuitive with your surroundings, like
aware.
Maybe, yeah, aware, but then also being able to function on a level that's like natural. I'm gonna figure out a way to explain this shit. It's hard to explain, but it's like we're made. I mean, I don't know what everybody believes in, but I want to say no, but just to keep it PC, I'll say I firmly believe that we're made from nature. Now, whether you want to call it the Big Bang, whether you want to call it God, whether you want to call it whatever, even fucking evolution. Yeah. I think that our being, our physical being, is nature. You know what I'm saying? So our mind, like, even though that's not necessarily physical, our mind is still in tune with nature. Like, it's still, you know, like even something as small as, you ever had like I was thinking about this shit the other day where I'm like, yo, we could literally, no shit, we could literally tell the future. And the reason why I can say that is because you ever had like a dream, and in the dream, certain shit is like leading up. Like it's a perfect sequence.
We've had these conversations.
Leading up to something happening in the dream, but happening in real life. But it makes perfect sense in the dream. Yeah. That had to mean that you knew it was coming. You know what I'm saying? Like if you fall, like, you know, there's that, you know, motherfuckers have dreams they fell off a cliff or some stupid shit. Yeah. Right? But in the dream, you're on a cliff. Yeah. So in some part, you knew you were gonna fucking fall.
I actually thought about this. I have a theory about that. I mean,
I mean, like, you fall off the bed in real life, but in some part of your subconscious mind, you knew that you were gonna fall, and your mind had to make it make sense in your dream for you to feel that. They cannot put that shit in a robot.
So I thought about this before. It's just a theory. It's not like fact or anything like that. But they don't actually know what time is. We have a human conception of time, but they don't actually know what it actually is. And there's some scientists have theorized that it's possible that time, there is no future and past, that time is one continuum. So what if those dreams are just
a paralleled?
Not that it could be that, but what I'm saying is, what if those dreams are, if time is just one continuum thing and there's no present and there's no future, you're actually aware of everything happening at once. So you foresaw it coming because you knew it the whole time. Yeah. Because it was one constant.
That makes sense.
Like a reverse memory, if that makes sense. Because we remember things from the past. When you think about it, that's fucking weird too. Like, why do we have memories from the past? So why couldn't we have like memories from the future also? If that makes sense.
I mean, it would be probably contradictory to say a memory from the future, but I get what you're saying. Like, but I do think that makes sense. I would just have to, I would have to like hear more about it, because it could be possible where we just, like, the space that we're in and all this shit, the clocks we have, all that shit is just, I think that humans need order. Or maybe we don't need order, but we cannot, like, I think that naturally humans are arrogant. And I believe that if we didn't have like time, right? If there's no such thing as that shit saying 8, whatever it says right now, and it's like, damn, I gotta be to work at 7 a.m. If there's no such thing as that, there would be no order. There would be no
purpose.
There would be no reason for like us to wake up or us, like, there, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think that a lot of this shit was constructed just to keep us in order, because without order, it would be fucking chaos. Like, I think that's the reason why there was times in the past, like the Dark Ages and all types of shit like that, where it's like, yo, it's just fucking chaotic because there's no fucking order. You know what I'm saying? And I think that society, even though sometimes I think it takes it too far, society is good with implementing like certain boundaries and stipulations and guidelines as to what's what. You know what I mean? Like, day and night, they change that shit in front of our face every goddamn year. You know what I mean? So, like, of course, anybody with fucking common sense will be like, oh, these motherfuckers just doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is daylight savings if the day is still 24 hours? What the fuck are we saving? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? But it's still, even that, people roll off of that. I was more comfortable driving to this motherfucker because I'm like, well, shit, it's daylight this time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to say you're not in a bad neighborhood, but, you know, when you go somewhere where you're not from, and it's nighttime, you be like, oh shit, it's fucking nighttime. But in the daytime, you like to feel like certain stupid shit wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's that where it's like, yo, because realistically, we could just, without all this shit, we could just be living off the sun and the moon. And though I feel like that would...
But isn't it interesting, like you said, we've created this stuff for our order. But when you think about it, those celestial bodies, they have their own natural order. Like they're rotating around each other. The day and night exists because of the order of the planets going around the sun.
Right.
That's why it exists.
But that's what I believe is the only natural time teller.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Because,
like, who's to say because I'm in Cali, I'm 3 hours behind Jersey?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
What the fuck does that shit even mean? Yeah. Like, who the fuck came up with those metrics where it's like, yo, you know what? This is going to be Central Jersey time. This is going to be like all that shit is just like, huh? Like, how the fuck does that? I
think it's just a number that's indicating like where the, like, oh, this is where the earth is in relation to the sun. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
So we call when the sun is the brightest it could be. I think that's 12 o'clock, right? Is 12 o'clock where the sun is. They're like
midday type.
Yeah. Shit. Whenever that happens, let's call it 12. Mm-hmm. It's happening in LA at this moment. It happens in LA, so it kind of makes sense. But then the like you said, the daylight savings time thing kicks in, and it's like it keeps shifting no matter what. Yeah. So it has
and
this.
I, you know, I'm not no fucking what is that?
Astrophysicist.
Shit yeah, I'm not that. Like, I don't study the fucking sun and the moon and the planets and shit. But I refuse to believe that we do daylight savings because the sun is doing something different.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the earth is rotating the same way it always rotates.
It's just we don't have it. It's not a perfect, It's
just we like, and this is what I'm saying. Daylight savings always comes coincidentally, especially for Jersey or like this region, coincidentally when it's hotter. Yeah. When motherfuckers ain't got shit to do, school is out. Oh shit, the day is longer. We could do more shit. We could spend more bread. Yeah. We could, you know, yada, yada, yada. And then as soon as it starts getting cold, oh shit, time to go in the motherfucking house because don't nobody want to be really outside in the dark. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I get all that, but like back to your initial thing, like even shit like this, having a real conversation about some shit like this, where probably neither one of us know what the fuck we talking about. AI can't do this shit. It can have a conversation, but all it would be doing is mimicking whatever the program is, as opposed to us having a real conversation. Like, only thing I want in AI is I want a couple AI bitches. I ain't gonna lie to you, because if there's a way to have 2 or 3 robot bitches, and I seen some of them, I'm like, God damn, that's fake. If I could have like 2 or 3 of them, but still be like with a woman that I really like am into and care about and love and all that shit, that would be the perfect.
That might be the solution to your
having a chick for every. That might be the perfect
solution for your polyamory.
Hey, comedy bitch, wake up! It's time to go. And the bitch wakes up, motherfucker, like ain't even got to change clothes. The clothes just appear.
Okay, let me ask you this: why do you need a separate bitch? Like, why? What's wrong with?
I love when you say bitch because it sounds so unnatural coming from me.
It sounds so like
sounds so forced. I'm gonna say bitch. I'm gonna say bitch because he says bitch.
I sound like a professor. Like, now where do you get this bitch? Like, there's a oh God, which comedian does a joke about that? But it's I think it's Chris Rock. Yeah, Chris Rock does a joke about he's like trying to defend black music. He's like a lot of people say black music is not music, but then like when you actually try to defend this stuff, he's like, so let me tell you have these bitches. It's like he's talking to like move bitch, get out the way. He's like trying to defend it. He's like, well, you see, there's these bitches.
That was on one of his like old specials too.
Yeah, that was a great joke.
But what were you about to ask me? Like what? Why having?
Okay, why do you need a bitch for every occasion? Like, what's wrong with bringing one bitch to every occasion or having no bitch at all? Like, what's wrong with having an occasion without any bitch? Like, your bitch is at home. Sometimes she comes to an occasion, but sometimes there's no bitch.
Right.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing is wrong with it on my end because I'm naturally a loner. But in like a, you know, in a perfect world, like when I say have a woman for this, have a woman for that, I'm not saying every time I go to the movies this bitch gotta come.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every time I go to the gym she gotta
You're
come.
saying
Every
you want
show.
a woman
I'm
that
saying
can connect
I want
with
that.
everything about you.
And the reason why is because I'm in my mind I'm not a hypocrite, right?
Yeah.
A woman, if I'm with you, you could have a movie guy. Like if you want to go see Barbie, you know that's not my speed. I would rather you go see Barbie with the motherfucker who wants to see Barbie with you, as opposed to making me either come reluctantly or making me feel like shit because I didn't want to go with you. So now you either not gonna go or you're gonna go by yourself. And
but aren't those just friends?
so now,
those are just friends or family.
What do you mean?
Like it doesn't have to be a specific like romantic interest. It could just be like this.
Well, no, I'm speaking like because I just like to hang around women.
Okay.
Come on, man. This is what, the 5th time I'm on your podcast?
Yeah.
We ain't never did nothing but hug. But I would rather, you know, there's a million. I know, you know, a couple comedians doing podcasts. I ain't been on none of them motherfucking shit 5 times.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't want to talk to guys, but I would rather be around a woman. That's just what.
Do you just get along with women better? Is it that? Like, is it not like always?
I would say
sexual?
yes, but I got some exes out there that would disagree like a motherfucker. But I don't think it's that. But I get along with women better when it's neutral. Okay. Me and you get along because there's nothing attached to this except the fact that we just homies and we can sit and talk for hours.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to when you start adding in extra shit like intimacy or you know, I get into it with my baby sister a lot, and I don't want to, but it's a sense of, in my opinion, with the intimacy and with the family and you know, maybe even business sometimes and shit like that. I feel like there's a level of entitlement that comes with that, where it's like me and you don't feel right. Like when I'm talking to you, I don't necessarily feel like you have to agree with me or, you know, anything like that. And not speaking for you, but I feel like you think the same way. Like I feel like, matter of fact, I feel like most times we know we're not going to agree. Yeah. And it's surprising when we do. Yeah. But I feel like that's our dynamic. When it comes to like women, like when it comes to intimacy, you can't, you know, there's a level of I'm gonna make you understand what I'm saying. I think I know what you mean. There's a weird energy that gets attached to when it suddenly becomes an intimate relationship. Wait, for all those that love me, I have to move this is all right. For all those that love me, I don't want to give this company a shout out because they're not paying either of us, but this is non-alcoholic gin. There's no alcohol in here. I'm driving, so, you know, motherfuckers been getting on me about drinking and driving and shit. So there's no alcohol in here. It's all fucking, it says vegan on the back. It's goofy. It's water. What's it actually made of? It's water. What is that? Glycerin? Let me see. Water, glycerin, natural. Do you need reading glasses? Water, glycerin, natural flavors, citrus acid. I mean, it's just a bunch of like chemicals basically, but it tastes like gin, right? I mean, it tastes. Can I smell it? I don't want to drink it. It sounds gross, but I'm gonna smell it. No, take it. Try it. Take a sip. Just a sip. You're not sick, are you? Fuck. Hell no. I don't get sick. I ain't been sick since I was 14. Will it make me fat? Not one sip. If it does, damn, something up with your body. It doesn't taste the way I remember gin tasting, but that's what I'm saying. But it tastes gin-ish, like it's gin-ish, but it's not gin. It's like sugary. It's kind of like, it almost tastes like
Lime.
Yeah.
Like it has like a lime flavor.
Yeah. It's cool.
It's good enough.
It's cool.
We're not getting paid by this.
Yeah. It's just some shit because it's a routine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when I'm driving and I usually drink doing things.
Yeah. Okay. So change of subject. Did you watch the presidential debate? And what was your reaction to that?
I watched the first about 45 minutes of it. And I was thoroughly entertained. And then I cut it off because I got offended.
You got offended?
I got offended.
By what? I've never ever heard you say you got offended by something. I want to know what
I just feel like it was an insult to my intelligence.
Why?
That offensive, not hurt, but like it was insulting because. All right, so the only 2 elections I voted for in my life was Barack's 2 terms.
Yeah.
The first time was because I had just turned 18 and fuck it. It's Barack. He running, he black, let's do it. The second time was because I just want to keep the black guy in there. Now, after that, the next election came when I was about 26. Well, I was 26, not about. And 2016 and then 2020 and then so 2016 I was 26. I didn't necessarily give a fuck about what was, I never really paid attention to politics, but the reason why I think it was an insult to my intelligence because I do feel like all that shit is a game. I feel like it's all I don't want to say set up like it's a script, but I do feel like at least when I was, when I first turned 18 and I was kind of paying attention, I feel like at least like Barack made it look like
he was classy.
Really supposed to be president type shit.
He was classy.
Even the ones before that, like I was kind of too young to give a fuck about George Bush's shit. But like when I would see the shit on TV, now when I go back and look, I'm like, oh shit, he was the fucking president. But growing up, when I would see it on TV, it's like, all right, cool. That he, kind of, he's speaking like the president. He from what I know.
Yeah.
And then when you go before him, and it was like, Bill
Clinton.
I was just too young to understand. But once I got older, it's like Barack was the one that I first kind of paid attention to, and it's like, he looked like a president.
Yeah.
And then after him, it's like watching these 2 motherfuckers. Like I said, I was thoroughly entertained because in my mind, it's like, damn, if these are the 2 motherfuckers I gotta vote for, I'm gonna just vote for. Like Trump was kicking his ass, and it was like, like I don't know what the fuck is going on with Joe Biden. Like I don't know if he was motherfucking dying or what. He would take these long.
I actually didn't know he was 81 years old. Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna say about him though?
He would take these long
these like breaths.
And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? I thought he was glitching because sometimes he would like repeat the last part of the sentence he just said.
Yeah.
Like he would say that. I don't know if that's some type of public speaking technique.
Dementia or something like that.
But like, it's like, we only a certain amount of troops got killed when I was in office.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like listening on the way over here, and I'm looking like, is this shit fucking like glitching? Like, what the fuck is going on?
No, I think he like gets lost in his train of thought, and he like sad. Stops and tries to remember where he is. That shit was
bad, so, okay. And that's why I got offended because I'm sorry.
No, I feel exactly the same way.
I'm like, how is this motherfucker the president? Even with Donald Trump. I was under, all right, when he was the president last time, I fell into the narrative, right? So I didn't necessarily pay attention to his shit when he was president because I'm like, this racist motherfucker.
Yeah.
Now, I'm paying a little bit more attention, and do I think he's racist or prejudiced? I think that he's a white man of a certain age, and just like with older people of any age, when you grow up in a racially divided country, there's certain things that's going to stick with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I didn't grow up in a racially divided spot. Like I was in a mixed neighborhood all my life.
Yeah.
So it's it's hard for me to kind of even when I watch the old movies and but this country was built on like literally racial division.
Yeah.
So but when I pay more attention to him, it's like, the motherfucker what he's saying is not necessarily evil. It might be old school. It might be, against whatever narrative or whatever society is trying to push now. Like, I feel like the only way people would feel like they won is now, because now you even got the debate being two old white men, like the country has always been. So now we know there's going to be an old white man as a president. After Barack, it probably should have been a woman. And then after the woman, it probably should have been like a gay dude. And then they go into that whole community, because then it's kind of looking like, the politic game is keeping up with the times as society is, as it pertains to society. But when I'm watching this motherfucker Joe Biden talk, I'm like, dog, I could debate this motherfucker. Like, I could say I'm a good talker.
Yeah.
I could say some shit that makes no sense and make it sound like it does. This motherfucker is saying shit that might make sense, but god damn, bro, that shit was like, and I was like, yo, this is the motherfucker who's supposed to run this shit.
Yeah.
And that's where it insulted my intelligence.
I agree with you. I actually had the same, I had the same exact afterthoughts. So you were talking about how you paid attention to certain elections. I'm 36 years old, and I'm embarrassed to admit, not that I'm 36. I
wanted to hit you with that Kevin Hart shit.
I'm embarrassed to admit that at 36, this is the first time I actually really cared about politics, and I'll explain why. The reason why is because
you about to explain the reason why you're embarrassed to admit it, or the reason why this is
no. I'm embarrassed to admit it, and I'll explain not why I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I'll explain why I care about politics for the first time.
I want to hear that too. I want to hear why you're embarrassed.
Because I'm 36 years old, and I feel like I should have. I was very uneducated about politics up until really this year. Mm-hmm. So I'm embarrassed about that. But now the backup reason.
So that's just a shallow I'm this age and I should have been like, you saying there's no genuine, like, authentic reason to be embarrassed except for like kind of like some
I feel like I'm too old. I feel like I should have educated myself earlier.
Based off of what?
My peers, I guess. I don't know.
All right, fair enough. So that's just that's almost like the women.
You were interested in Obama. I wasn't that interested. I mean, I helped with some things because my family is very politically affiliated. But when I say I helped, I kind of just took their orders. I didn't do my own research. I didn't mentally research it. But anyways, so the reason I care now is because I'm at a place in my life where the issues actually affect me. Like, okay, I have my own business, so I pay my own taxes now. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't get a tax return. I pay, I mean, everybody pays taxes. Like, it comes out of your paycheck. But what I'm saying is,
I don't have my own business, and I owe these motherfuckers every year. I don't know how that shit works.
So I owe taxes every year. Because I have my own business, I don't get health insurance through a company. Ever since I moved to a city, the idea of homelessness, fentanyl, crime, that's like a real reality of my life. Mm-hmm. Like, I have to take public transit. I mean, I was explaining to you earlier, I literally got assaulted like recently. I've gotten my car stolen. I've gotten my debit card hacked from somebody in town that I'll never know who it is. So it's like all these issues.
How you know it's somebody in town?
Because when I looked at the places,
it was all swipes close to here.
It was all swipes close to here. So that means like that means a local merchant that I went to go buy something, and I don't know. There's no way to find out who it is. I went to go buy something, but I don't want to get off track. We can get back to that. What I'm getting to is this is the first year that things actually affect me. So I was like invested in this debate. I was like, before the debate, I researched everything. Like, I was like, I'm going to research this issue. I'm going to research this issue and all these different things. Abortion, migration.
Shit.
Yeah, I went in and like.
How did you know what to research?
I started looking at articles from like the different sides. I didn't just like pick, okay, let me look at only see. So there's different news channels that like
Right.
target different audiences. I guess CNN is more liberal and Fox, and then there's the central one. So I looked at articles from everything. I watched videos, read articles from everything to try to understand the whole picture. And I was like, okay. And I learned about I never knew what a tariff was. Just like that's what I mean. I'm embarrassed. I'm like, I should have known what a tariff was. I don't know, but I went into this debate with an open mind, like I'm going to hear what these people have to say. And I couldn't make it past like 20 minutes because I don't know if you saw the way, like I was stunned. I was like, my jaw dropped. I want to laugh, but I almost feel bad for Biden because I feel like he's 81 years old. It's like part of me wants to just laugh. And it's like, this is just comedy that was birthed to us by a gift. But then the other part of me is like, I actually I felt physically uncomfortable, like for him. Speak? Yes, like I felt like it's kind of like having an embarrassing relative.
Yeah, but
and that's why, like going back to what you said, you felt offended. I felt offended. I was like, this is we don't deserve that. Like what the fuck? Like
like the reason why I can't feel bad is because one, the only reason I even looked at that shit is because you said what you said earlier on your story, and so I kind of knew how to go into it, like mentally. Yeah. Plus, two, I don't necessarily take the shit that serious because, like, I know I can't explain the intricacies of the game, but I know it's a behind the scenes something is going on to where it's like I can't give it that much brain power that you gave it where I'm going to research everything and shit like that. I research shit because I want to know about shit, but I'm not going to do it to try and keep up with these two motherfuckers who I
felt cheated. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I did my fucking homework and I showed up with a clipboard and a notebook, like ready to like take down notes. And it was a shit show because I know you said before that Trump clobbered him, but the thing is he only clobbered him in comparison to him.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Had he went against a good candidate or at
least a good speaker.
That's insulting to some people. A good speaker. If he went against a good speaker, he still was dodging every question. Like I don't know if you.
I think.
In the beginning, he had a strong start.
Okay, yeah. So I only watched the first 45 minutes, but I think everything that I seen, he was kind of addressing shit that was being addressed.
No, he had a very strong start, but then as it went on, they asked him questions like, you can look this up later. Anybody listening could look this up later.
I'm gonna listen to the rest of it on the way.
They asked questions like, what are you going to say to the American people about January 6th, like when they went into the White House?
I ain't get there.
He didn't respond. He just changed the subject. He goes, I want to go back to what I said before. So as the debate went on, he kept dodging like very intense questions. And that's a footrest for
Oh, for real?
Yeah, you pull it out and that's a footrest. But anyways, so he had a good start. Yeah. Like he had a strong start.
Everything I seen, I was like, he was fucking Biden up, bro.
He did. But then as it went on, he was dodging like really intense questions, which is like, okay, now you're just a liar. So it's like, what's the less of two evils? Like we're at tensions.
Yeah, it won't be a spoiler alert if you tell me, but I gotta ask just so I don't feel. Did they ask Trump anything about his charges, his felonies? Did they bring it up at all?
I didn't get that far, but I'm sure they probably did. I didn't get that far though.
Oh, you didn't watch the whole thing either?
I was so uncomfortable. Yeah. Like every time Biden spoke, I actually like my gut dropped. I was like, oh my, like it felt like having an embarrassing relative like drunk at a party.
Yeah, see, my thing is,
it was like that feeling.
I was laughing because I'm like, all right. As a moral human being, yeah, I get it. Like you like, man, that's fucked up. But then it's also like as just a regular human being where it's like I cannot care about this dude more than the people around him who are supposed to care about him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if they gonna keep parading this motherfucker and exploiting this motherfucker and all that there, then it's like, all right, you gotta you kind of I can't feel bad for that shit. You know what I'm saying? I grew up, Muhammad Ali held the Olympic torch after he had Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And anybody that knows me knows Muhammad Ali he's the greatest. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite movies all that shit. But to me, him holding that torch is like the funniest shit in the world.
Yeah.
I even have material on it, like not actual, not a real detailed bit
Muhammad Ali.
about him holding that fucking torch.
Yeah.
Like I have about, I want to say, just 45 seconds to a minute on it, because it's just, to me, it's just when people, somebody, if that was my dad or if that was my brother,
yeah,
I'd be like, look, we appreciate what you're trying to do. I know somebody got to hold the torch. Why don't you get somebody else to hold the torch, but have Ali standing up there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That to me, that would have looked better if maybe they got a younger fucking, maybe they got Floyd Mayweather, or maybe they got somebody else who was real prominent in boxing at that time, you know, to raise the torch in honor of him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Don't get nobody from his family that don't nobody know. It's the Olympics. You want to make it look big. Get some famous motherfucker. Shit, you should have got Will Smith up there.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Or something where it's like, all right, Will Smith played him in the movie. Let's get Will and let's have them walk out together and explain it. Will is going to raise the torch in honor of Muhammad Ali, because this shit just going to look crazy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I seen that, and with all the love that I have for what Muhammad Ali did, as far as boxing, as far as politics, as far as just standing up for himself as a black dude, as a Muslim during the civil rights thing, like all that, as much as I have love for that, I could still laugh at goofy shit.
Well, you're also in the business of comedy, so like I totally understand.
But even before that,
okay, gotcha.
Like I come from a family of motherfuckers who just laugh at shit that quote unquote ain't supposed to be laughed at. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like
wait, I'm not saying it's morally incorrect or morally wrong to laugh at Biden. I'm just saying it was so extreme that like there was a genuine instinct in me to like feel.
Yeah, I think that like, your moral like maybe it's not moral or immoral, but I think that your own personal moral compass was like, damn, this is fucked up. Like you know what I'm saying?
Like it wasn't even like a thought. It wasn't even like a conscious thought. It wasn't even like morally this was wrong. It was like
your stomach started hurting and shit. Like you
like
really,
like not hurting, like but dropping. You know,
like
when
it was, I know what you mean.
It was so
it's cringeworthy.
It was cringe, like the cringe. I was cringe. It was so cringy that I was just like, I can't. It's so funny that it's not funny. It's so funny that I can't laugh. Like it's like it's bad. Like because here's the thing.
And the fact that it's not, and that's another thing that kind of made me be like, all right, man, I gotta like. I turned off the first 45 minutes and started listening to some other shit that was gonna. Because the fact that like once I wrap my mind around the fact that I'm like, this ain't fake, like this ain't no spoof, this ain't SNL, this is some real shit that they trying to put to us, like, bro, these are our leaders type shit, where it's like, that's where I'm like, man, all right, come on, bro, I can't be paying this shit too much attention. That shit looked like a skit.
Yeah. And who knows? Like maybe there is something behind the scenes where they
SNL is gonna have fun like a motherfucker with that, bro. Yeah. I'll probably watch SNL this Saturday just because I know they gonna fuck that thing up.
Also, this is gonna be like the theme of the next few months. Like
I'm gonna have to hear about it at every fucking open mic.
That and on top of that. Show. Apparently they want to replace Biden now because they think his performance was so poor that they're considering replacing him. So that's like
a new candidate?
Yeah.
Who?
I don't know.
Oh. Wow. They usually have like people like runner, like
maybe the vice president. I don't know. But I don't know who. I'm just
Kamala?
saying it's
is that
Kamala Harris. Like I don't know, but I don't want to start rumors. I'm just saying that's like a big talk right now is like, get him out and get somebody else in. But there's no fact that that's going to happen. That's just like the talk right now.
Man, I would rather that. Because, look, I heard all the jokes, but like I said, I wasn't paying attention to this shit for the last 4 years. Yeah. I didn't give a fuck. It was, you know, when the last election went down, it was 2020. We was in the fucking pandemic. Yeah. It was like, bro, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Yeah. It was hard for me to care because, one, I'm going through the closest thing of depression that I could think of because I couldn't do stand up.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, I don't care about what these motherfuckers talking about. And then they both were saying like weird tabloid worthy shit where it's like Biden had the whole, you know, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And, you know, like it was just a whole lot of shit where I was hearing where I'm like, all right, and I'm cool on this shit. And then the last 4 years, I wasn't paying attention because I'm like, yo, if I was cool on it when it started, I'm still cool on it now. But I heard all the jokes. I heard about, you know, Sleepy Joe, and I heard about all this shit. Yeah. But actually watching and paying attention, I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker is really like dead living.
So that's what I meant when it was like past funny, because I think when they made those jokes before, it was true, but he could hold himself together.
I think the last time I seen him in an interview, like I said, with the whole you know, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black thing, like he was doing an interview, like it was what is that shit called? The Skype, not Skype, but on the phone. Zoom, yeah. Interview with Charlemagne the God. And in that, he had way more character than what I seen on the way over here. Like, it looked like more than 4 years passed. Or it looked like whatever the fuck he might have had, like, you know, because when you go to old age, man, shit just fucking happened.
Yeah.
So it looked like if he had some shit and it was able to be contained, or maybe it just didn't kick up, it looked like that shit kicked up
I guess what I'm saying is I actually thought he might die on stage. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I'm like, is he going to die on the stage tonight? Like, this is bad. Like, this is brutal.
Do you know how fucking funny that, I'm not gonna say would be, but
it would be ironic.
It's one of those things where it would be so unreal.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even if I'm watching the fucking debate and a motherfucker just fall, I'd be like, man, I wouldn't believe it. Yeah. Even if they went forth with the funeral, and they be doing the live funerals now and all that shit, it's all over the news and everything, I'd be like, that motherfucker is somewhere in a fucking hospital bed because he just fucking had a stroke or some stupid shit. Yeah. I would not believe that a motherfucker just died live on TV during a goddamn debate.
Yeah.
But I do want to take bets in saying that SNL do something with that. I think he will die in a skit somewhere. Like,
I thought SNL is more like reserved now.